My husband and I are in an open marriage and he just brought home a 16-year-old girl. Do I tell the police? My husband and I's marriage became very rocky 3 years ago when I caught him cheating on me with a co-worker of his. I was very tempted to leave him, but he made a lot of promises, and considering up to that point he was my dream man, I decided to forgive him. I don't think I ever fully trusted him again though, and these concerns of mine proved to be worthwhile about a year ago, when he cheated again. This time I was ready to leave with no hesitation, and he tried everything he could to get me to stay. I don't know how he managed to do this, but he roped me into staying in the marriage under the condition that we will be having an open relationship. I for some reason agreed to this, seeing this as an opportunity to sort of teach my husband how it felt. And teach him I did. He quickly realized that I, a woman with no kids in her early 30s who stays in shape, can garner a lot of male attention quickly. I started going on many dates with other men and had many hookups and FWB relationships, and I could see my husband seething about this on the inside. About 3 months into the relationship, he had failed to get a single date, whereas I was meeting someone new almost every single week, and so he came to me with a proposal. He told me that he no longer wanted an open marriage and that he had made a mistake in suggesting it. He said we should close it and focus on us. I told him that's not how it works. I'm having a good time in this marriage. He agreed to this, and he can't just go back on his word when things don't go his way. He was very much unamused by this, and he proceeded to yell at me, calling me a WHRE and telling me that we are closing this marriage whether I like it or not. This led to a few weeks which were extremely tense, and we did not talk much to each other, but then he came to me with an apology. He said he had thought long and hard about things and about us, and he came to the conclusion that I was his dream woman, that he knows he messed up in the past and he would do anything to take it back, and that it physically hurts him to see me with other men. He went on to say he understands that this is the only way I see our marriage continuing, and so he is willing to let it be open. We talked it out and put all the animosity per side and set some ground rules. We decided on no more than 1 date per month, no sleeping with people in our house, and since I am bi, I was open to a 3-way if he was also interested. Things seemed to be going well after we established these rules, and it was almost like we were falling in love once again. Our own intimacy life improved and we communicated a lot better, but things slowly started turning sour again. About 2 months ago my husband came to me to show me a date of his and asked me what I think about her, and I was shocked to see that this girl was 21 whereas he was 37. I asked him if he thought this was okay, and he made a joke that age is just a number. The very next month, he came to me again, telling me about a date he had and showed me his date. This girl was 18. I told him I didn't think it was okay for him to go out with her, but he disagreed and went anyway. I had a long talk about this with him when he got home, and he could not seem to understand why this was weird. In his words, she has honkers which are developed. She has a bush and isn't a V-card owner. She's grown. We went in circles until I dropped it. I did not show it on the surface, but the fact that he was going for such young girls really bothered me. Well, it all culminated last night. He told me he was going on a date with a girl and she was bi, and he asked me if I was down for a 3-way later, as this girl had expressed interest in the potential of that. I asked him to show me a picture of her and he did, and she looked very pretty, slightly on the younger side but definitely in her 20s, so I said yes. Well, my husband and her came back to our house and we all sat down to talk. I introduced myself and asked her some simple questions, and then I asked her how old she was. My husband's eyes went wide immediately, and the girl said 16. I stared at her blankly, before she continued, I know, right? I don't look it. He told me you knew and were fully okay with it however, right? Absolutely not, I replied back and urged her to get out of the house. My husband asked me not to be so rash, but I called him disgusting in front of her and kept trying to be as calm as possible and telling the girl to leave the house. If she's going, I'm going too, my husband said, and so I ended up kicking them both out. I don't know what they did, but all I know is my husband's computer, which has his email, got a notification confirming a hotel booking for last night.